Welcome back to our lesson on triangle centers. In this video, I'll show you how to construct the orthocenter of a triangle. So here's our triangle. Now, in order to construct the orthocenter of this triangle, I need to drop perpendiculars from each vertex down to the side opposite that vertex. So I'll start with this top vertex right up here. Now, the first step in constructing the construction of dropping a perpendicular is to set the length of the compass to be a little bit more, some bit more, than the distance from the point to the line you're dropping the perpendicular to. So let's see. I'll go ahead and draw my arc right there. And you see I have these two intersection points. Now I'm going to go to each of those intersection points. I'll set the compass to be that length. Okay, so I'll draw my arc in here. Now I go to the other intersection point, and I draw my arc in right there. Oops, sorry, you can't see the other point of intersection, but there it is. Now I draw my perpendicular. So I connect this vertex point. I line it up with these intersection points. And I'm going to use all 3 points just to get it as accurate as I can. And now I go ahead and draw this line from the vertex down to the opposite side of the triangle. So there's my first segment, my first perpendicular dropped from one of the sides of the triangle down to the opposite side. Let's go ahead and do this side next, or this vertex rather, next. So I'll set my compass to be a little bit more than that length. Now the issue is, with this one, if I go too much more, I end up off. So while that might seem like a problem at first, you may recall that one of our rules says we can extend any line. In fact, let me grab the foundation here, the diagram of our axiomatic system. So here's the diagram, and we see the foundation, and the rules are draw or define a point anywhere, connect 2 points with a line, and number 3 says extend a line. So I have this side of the triangle here. I can go ahead and extend it. I can make it longer. And this is something that you'll often have to do when constructing the orthocenter. In fact, sometimes the orthocenter ends up being outside the triangle. And in that case, like if you have an obtuse angle, then you'll definitely need to be extending some of these sides of the triangle. Okay, so now I have those 2 points there. Let's go ahead and take my compass and set it to be, let's see, yeah, that should work. So I'll set it there, draw my arc. Now I go to this intersection point right here, the other intersection point with the segment. I'll draw my arc there. And now I have this intersection point down here and this one up here. That will help me draw my perpendicular in. So let's line up all 3 points again, get it as accurate as I can. Okay. So here is my second perpendicular. And I'll go ahead and signify that that's a right angle. And now finally I need to drop a perpendicular from this point down to this third side. Okay, now I'm definitely going to have to extend this side here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that before I even draw the arc. So I'm going to line this up as carefully as I can. I'll go ahead and extend off both sides there. Now I take my compass and I set it to be a bit more than the distance from that vertex to the side across from it. And I just want to set it so that I don't end up overlapping with other intersection points. And there we go. So We do have to be careful here because we can end up getting lost with all these intersection points. So let me just point out where they are. I've got one right there, and I've got my second one right here. So it can be easy to lose track of them. All right, now I'm going to set the compass at that intersection point, and let's go ahead and draw my arc in. Now I keep the compass to be the same setting. So I'll go right there. All right, and now you see these two close to each other. So we got to make sure we know which one we're using. Okay, so this arc, let's trace it. So it goes right here, and so we're using this inner one right there. That's the intersection point we're using, and then this intersection point right here. So let's line up these intersection points, all three, as we did the other times. And now we can draw our last perpendicular. And there it is. So I've dropped a perpendicular from this vertex down to this side, from this vertex down to this side, and from this vertex to this side. And you'll notice that the three perpendiculars that I dropped all intersect at this common point of concurrence. That, as you may have guessed, is the orthocenter. So let's go ahead and label it. This point right here is the orthocenter. Okay, so that wraps up our lesson on the triangle centers. We looked at the circumcenter, the incenter, the centroid, and the orthocenter. However, remember, if you want to learn, you do need to practice. Practice problems will be in the description. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next video.